We are starting the second half of our virtual tree trail at the Global Medicinal Garden beside the tropical ravine. Many of you will remember a huge tree at the corner of the gable wall of the ravine. This was a tulip tree, Liriodendron tulipifera. It was a magnificent mature tree, but unfortunately was damaging the foundations of the ravine. It was removed during the ravine restoration. A replacement tulip tree was planted in a ceremony in honour of the retirement of Reg Maxwell. This is to the right of the path from the ravine down towards the bandstand. The tulip tree has distinctive leaves that look as if they have been chopped or had their ends cut off. The young tree is thriving and will eventually produce the beautiful tulip-shaped cream flowers. Continuing down the path, you will see on the right a small, rather bushy conifer. This is one of the few deciduous conifers. We met one earlier, the dawn redwood. This one is the swamp cypress, Taxodium disticum. It is from the wet areas of the eastern United States, where it's growing, as the name suggests, in swamps. It has a unique adaptation to this habitat of producing aerial roots that allow the submerged roots to obtain oxygen from the air. These stick up like knees around the base of the tree. Our specimen is too young to have developed aerial roots. In the area behind the swamp cypress are three hornbeam trees, Carpinus betulus. These have leaves a bit like a beech tree leaf, only rather more serrated around the edge. You can see one of them on the left here, and in the centre, close to the boundary fence, is a sweet chestnut, Castanea sativa. This is the chestnut used for Christmas stuffing and roasted over winter fires. The leaves are large with toothed edges. The chestnuts form inside a very prickly outer case. At the end of this path, we will keep to the left, leaving on our right the entrance to the herbaceous borders. Either side of the entrance to the herbaceous borders are two medlar trees, Mespilus europaeus, a popular fruit in medieval times. These trees fruit prolifically. The field on your left has a collection of horse chestnut trees, Aesculus hippocastanum. It's called horse to distinguish it from the edible sweet chestnuts. The fruit of the horse chestnuts are the conkers. Some of the trees here are white flowered and some are pink or even red. This makes a great show in early summer. There are two new problems attacking horse chestnuts that have come into this country from Europe. One is a leaf miner that eats up the inside of the leaves and weakens the tree and can eventually kill it, as has happened extensively in France. The other is a bacterial canker, leaving characteristic bleeding marks on the trunk of the tree. Both can kill. The trees here are being carefully monitored. Reaching the bottom of the path, we turn to the right towards the PE centre. There are several yew trees here. This is the second of the three native conifers. We've seen Scots pine already, and the yew and the juniper are the other two. On the right of the path is a typical spreading shaped yew. In the wild they are often multi-stemmed. The needles of the yew are short and a very dark green, and the seeds are enclosed by a fleshy aril. This acts like the fruit of flowering plants. The seeds and the leaves, but not the aril, are poisonous. So birds can eat the aril and they excrete the seeds, which then grow. Taxus is the source of a very valuable cancer drug called Taxol. In 1870, the gardener of the Florence Court estate in Fermanagh found two unusual, very upright or fastigiate forms of the yew tree on the sides of Culca Mountain, not very far from the estate. These were both dug up and transplanted to the garden of the estate, and one of them survived and in fact is still growing there. It became known as the Irish yew and is now grown all over temperate world. It can't be grown from seed, so all the Irish yew trees around the world are a clone with identical genetics. There are several examples in the Botanic Gardens, the two that you'll see in the pictures here, and two more up near the Palm House. To the right of the path there are several fine weeping willows. These are a hybrid willow, Salix cross sepulchralis chrysocoma. It's a form with yellow twigs introduced in about 1908. Further down the path is another common tree that is also a hybrid. This is the London plane, Platanus cross acerifolia. Commonly grown as a street tree, it is a hybrid between the Oriental plane and the American plane. Its flaky bark helps it to shrug off city pollution. Along the same path is a tall conifer with a rather conical shape. This is the western hemlock, Tsuga heterophylla. It's distinguished by its leaves, or needles, of varying sizes, as you can see in the picture here. It is from western United States, from Alaska to California, and it's an important timber tree. Finally, as we approach the bowling pavilion, there is a large conifer on the right. In the picture, it has a lot of branches very close to the ground. These have been trimmed this year, leading to a much better looking shape. It's the Monterey cypress, Cupressus macrocarpa. It's rare in the wild where it grows in California, but is widely distributed, cultivated in coastal areas because it's fairly tolerant of salt winds. The distinctive seed cones are spherical. They take about 18 months to ripen and eventually split open to shed their seeds. We've only seen a small selection of the huge tree collection in the Botanic Gardens. Much more information is on the Friends of Belfast Botanic Gardens website, fobbg.co.uk. Here you'll find an archive of information on over 100 of the trees in the gardens, with details and photographs of each, and also the GPS coordinates of each tree, which allows you to find them on the ground. You can search the archive either by English name or by the Latin name. I hope you've enjoyed our virtual tour of the Botanic Gardens, and I hope you will visit it and look at these trees in more detail as soon as it's possible to do so.